So today we're going to learn how to write Google Script to kind of send an automated email back to a person that fills out a Google form. So we got a screencast going here. We see my head right here. I'll be recording. Then you can follow my mouse along and see where we go from here. So I pre-created a Google form. Basic, simple Google form, 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. And based on these questions will fill a cell here in this spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet here is how we're going to go ahead and write our Google script. So what I did was I made a cheat sheet, and if we look here, each cell has a number designed to it. And these numbers are crucial in actually writing the script, so we make sure the right information goes to the right place. So let's go back to our form. So we're going to go to Tools, Script Editor, and it's going to bring up a blank sheet. And there'll be a my function. So part of writing our function is we have to create an E function. Here's our E function. And then after our E function, we have to write VAR. And then we're going to look at our first cell, which is timestamp that we're not going to use. So we're going to call number 1 first name. So we're going to do first name equals E dot values brackets 1 colon VAR last name E value brackets 2. Now let's go double check. So we have 1, 2. Now we have to do email address and why did I make this form. So we will call the next one VAR email equals E dot values 3. Oh, we forgot our colon here, or semicolon. We're going to do var, and we're just going to make this easy and call it answer. E dot value here for. So now what we've done is we've taken the function my function E, and we've assigned E values here. These E values correspond to each individual cell here from the spreadsheet. So now what we're going to do again, we're going to go ahead and create our quick little email. So we're going to type var body. Actually, let's do our subject first. Var subject equals, then we need our quotes, and we'll say thank you for taking a moment to fill out my Google form. And if you can see, it's in red, and that means anytime the text is in red, that is exactly how you're going to see it in the email. So next what we're going to, so here we're picking up right where we left off. What I did this time was I put all the computer code in that I wrote, so that way we don't have to waste time in the video watching me type. So if we look here, I'm going to walk you through how the script works. Talked a little bit earlier about assigning numbers to cells in the spreadsheet, and basically now we have to create the actual automated email. So everything you see here in red in quotes is my typing. So if you look at this here, it says dear, there's a space and then a quote, so that will put a space in the actual email. The plus means it's going to pull from this cell here. So first name will come exactly from first name here, and then there'll be a space and a comma. And then that goes right into the body of the actual email. So we don't want a space after that comma, so we're going to do that right there. And these slash n's is for every slash n you see, that's a space from above. So we have 2 slash n's, so after it says dear first name, there'll be 2 spaces, and then the actual email will begin. So as you can see here, the answer you provided to the question, why did I make this form, was, so that's my typing, and then it will pull from the actual spreadsheet what the answer typed in the form here is. So I'll just give you a little look at it. Here's my answer. I pre-filled out the form, and we're going to submit this when I'm done going through the Google script, so you can see what the email looks like. And part of doing this way is then you get to see what the email looks like, and if you have to edit or do anything to the code to make it look perfect, you could go back and re-edit it pretty quick. So back to our code. I truly appreciate your feedback, and we'll use it to improve my form making skills. And then you got to remember, anytime you close anything, you have to put a plus, because this is a script that actually runs in order. So say there's a plus right here, and if I forgot that plus, what would happen is the email would run and generate, but nothing below this below that plus would run. So everything you see here would be blank. So part of doing the script, you want to do 4, 5, 6 tests each time to make sure that your script runs in its entirety. So as we go through this line, thank you, Mr., Mrs., and then it pulls the last name from that cell for taking the time to answer the question in my form, period. So then we're going to do 2 spaces, so 2 lines. It's going to have my name, 1 line space, Sycamore High School Leaf Program, 1 space, special education, and then plus, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go 3 spaces below that, and then I say I have your email listed as, because here's the email up here. If you wish to continue to receive emails from me, kindly reply yes. And part of what's cool is Google auto generates this email from my email account. So even though everything's automatic, it comes from my email. And then this here, this is a Google script command. And what this does, this is the magic behind everything. So you type in mailapp.send email, and then the email here pulls from the email here. The subject here pulls exactly from the subject here, and the body here pulls exactly from the body here. So basically what happens is we have our email, our subject, and our body. So it's going to automatically send an email. So we're going to make sure that's all saved. Then we got to ensure our triggers are set. So I already set a trigger for this spreadsheet, but when you set a trigger, you would hit add new trigger, and then you would do, see it comes up as time driven. We don't want to do this time driven. We want to do it on the form spreadsheet, and then we pick on form submit. So when we pick on form submit, as you see that matches my trigger above, the minute the user presses submit in the form, it'll auto generate the email and send it pretty instantaneously, depending on speed of your ISP and stuff like that, but it usually goes pretty quick. So now that we've gone through the code and we're all here, let's take a look and see how it runs. So I'm going to go to my pre-filled form. I'm going to hit submit. So it says your response has been recorded. So now let's pop over to email, and there we go. My email popped through. So as we can see, dear Mark, the answer you provided to the question, why did I make this form, was, I made this form to give my professor and anyone else who would like to learn about automated emails via Google Script a crash course in writing script. I truly appreciate your feedback and will use it to improve on my form making skills. And then it's thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Holstein, Mr. and Mr. Holstein, for taking the time to answer my question, and it has all the information here. So before I tidy it up, looking at this here, some of the formatting to me, I have an extra period here. As you can see right here, I have an extra period that I want to get rid of to clean it up. And then I think, I have 1 space from this line to this line. And in making it much better, I think what I would do is add another line here. So where it says thank you, for the next time around, we're going to go back to our script and see how it's a single N. So we're going to go here, just add a second N in, and we're going to save it. And then what that will do is the next time around, this thank you will be another space down. So it'll make the email look a little bit better. So this basically has been a crash course here in how to create Google Script. I'm going to now take this, edit it in my editor, make sure everything looks great, and I'm going to get it posted to YouTube and get it turned in.